my son was talking, and my aunt was like, "Why are you talking so proper?" And I'm just like, "Well, that's how he's supposed to talk. You know, he's not supposed to be, talking, slang or nothing like that. He's supposed to." Because he was like, "Hey, Dad, I need to go use the restroom." Right. She was like, "Why are you talking so proper?" And I'm just like, "Well, that's how he's supposed to talk. Like, I know how we talk, but right now, that's what he needs to learn. Like, he can learn, the lingo and stuff later on. But as of right now, but I had to get her. I'm like, dude, like, that's what he's. I understand you might raise your grandkids a different way or have them talk a certain way, but he's gonna be a different child from y'all."
What we see right now with like the Democratic Party is anything that the right does must be bad no matter what it is.
Yeah. Yep.
So this funny thing happens with Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks. He sees it's like Elon Musk advocating for restrictions on if you're a general in the military, you can't get a job as a defense contractor for 10 years. And Cenk is like, the progressives have been arguing for that forever. Yeah. Because these high-ranking military guys will overspend like crazy because they're cutting a deal. Like, hey, we're going to dump public funds. We got you. And give me a job. Mm-hmm. The left attacked him when he asked, "Let me help you get this policy through." And he was like, "Why are you mad? Like, we want this thing." Right. Yep. So it's almost similar in that there's this idea among a lot of these people. You mentioned, like, the aunt comes in and she got a nice car and they don't want that. They want to be like that. They're being told that success is white supremacy, is racism. You don't want to go anywhere near it.
I had to check my auntie the other day. We was having it was at my birthday party in July. Well, we had a family get together, and my son was talking, and my aunt was like, "Why are you talking so proper?" And I'm just like, "Well, that's how he's supposed to talk. You know, he's not supposed to be, talking, slang or nothing like that. He's supposed to," because he was like, "Hey, Dad, I need to go use the restroom." Right. She was like, "Why are you talking so proper?" And I'm just like, "Well, that's how he's supposed to talk. Like, I know how we talk, but right now, that's what he needs to learn. Like, he can learn, the lingo and stuff later on. But as of right now, but I had to get her. I'm like, dude, like, that's what he's. I understand you might raise your grandkids a different way or have them talk a certain way, but he's gonna be a different child from y'all, or whatever. And you just have to accept that. But in the idea of that, subconsciously, what she's saying is, why are you talking so white? Right. That's what that means.
But that's crazy. She said proper because proper just means correct. It just means doing the right thing.
That's it.
And why are you being correct? Even if the argument was speaking that way is a different culture of ours, to use the word proper it's like as if to imply she knows that is the correct way to speak English.
Correct.
Now that's actually the real. I know we tongue in cheek, but that's actually that thought process that told black folks. If we isolating it and for this conversation to black folks, that's actually white supremacy. Mm-hmm. If I can convince you to only chase things that make your entire lineage worse.
Yep. Yeah.
And that didn't show up with black people. I'm sorry, like some of the viewers might be like, "Oh, we didn't do it." You physically, as the white dude now, might have not done it. But there were conscious, by design, things that said, no, we have to, even the concept of that thing called the Uncle Tom, right? Mm-hmm. In the book, Tom did not sell out.
Yep.
Tom was the one that did not do what Massa said do. Yep. Over time, the conditioning was on this plantation, if I'm the white slave master, you not being an Uncle Tom, is you? To that, what Samuel Jackson's character type dude, right? Yep. Mm-hmm. Now that dude goes, I ain't no Uncle Tom, because you're vying for a white person's association and adornment. Mm-hmm. So now you start repeating it, and then you go, "Oh, what y'all Uncle Toms?" Nobody, as the story continues to go on, actually read the book to know that this character was the dude that didn't sell out.
Right.
So when somebody puts that thought process into a person's brain and then it starts to spread down over time, that is white supremacy.
Even I was listening to this guy talk about the word nigga.
Yeah.
He was actually explaining how the word nigga was only used when you were in rebellion to white people. Because at first he was just like, okay, you know how you be walking up down the street in the 60s or whatever, they call you boy or something like that. But when you be rebellious, hey, nigga, that's when you were called a nigga. When you were doing the wrong thing, when you were going against white people, you were called the nigga. So he was like, nigga ain't even the bad word. He was like, I want to be a nigga because I don't want to be with the racist white people, etc. So I kind of got what the psyop that you're explaining now is you convinced us that everything right is wrong and everything that destroys our lineage is the right thing. That's subconsciously that's what we do, because just like he said, the word proper means correct. Right. So for you to say, why are you speaking correct? Why are you doing the right thing? Like, it's subconscious because she's, older. She's just like, why are you doing the right thing? I'm supposed to be doing the wrong thing. Like, I don't get this psyop, man. It's crazy.
This is why I think, after a certain point. They did the same thing with the term woke too.
Yeah, same thing. Yep.
This is a part of the reason why when you unraveling these things, right? This is where I'm starting to land where it got to be spiritual. Mm-hmm. Because it becomes man, we've had these lessons, we've had these experiences, we could unravel them and break them down. Right. But it's like, man, you guys are making a conscious effort, like over generations, to make sure that people aren't, it's like the Tower of Babel. Yep. We're not really communicating with each other. We just speaking at each other in ways that everybody may not understand because there's somebody in the mix going, do not communicate effectively with that person. Tell them from this group, yo, if you actually aspire to excellence, you are being white. Yep. Proper is the association of white. And then all you got to do is a quick back scroll, right? And you look at Frederick Douglass, when you look at his writing and reading, when he could not write and read, you start to go, that is the concept of excellence. Right. Right? And it's just not the monopoly of that. And so I don't know, man. I just start leaning on, the Cat Williams statement. It ain't race. It's God's side and the other side. Like in my brain, because for the longest time, I just was like, I don't really know about this God thing. Because why is God playing it this way? Why is God like doing this? Like, why does my daughter now, my child's mother died in October, right? Why does my daughter have to deal with this pain that I cannot help her with? So that for a while I was like, why is God like being like you kind of being a dick a little bit, right? And so when these types of things happen, it leans me in a direction more of like, this has to be some sort of bigger lesson in spiritual whatever. And it goes that way in stark contrast to how I've been feeling for some time now. And I guess every group of people feel like they're the chosen, but if each individual is having a struggle within themselves, then everybody becomes that individual that is reflecting on their choices, life, and then it leans you in the spiritual space. Not to get all woody woo, but it has to be something like that because this is too dumb.
Feels like a test.
Yeah.
You've got free will. What are you going to do with it?
Because this is dumb. Being on time. And I get the joke. You know what I'm saying? Like
we all say CP time.
Like I get the joke.
Like I already know, like when we had a family reunion, they say we're going to eat at 3. 5. Get there by 5. Because they're just now starting to cook at 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like we just know that. Like I don't know.
But every culture has that.
Right.
So it's like when I'm in Miami, they were like, oh, it's Miami time. And I'm like, what does that mean? It's like everybody's always late. And I'm like, why do I hear that same thing? Everybody acts like it belongs to them.
Marketing says that's colored people time.
Right.
That's what marketing does. So again, the marketing and advertising for the black community is like all the bad stuff is, the black people do that stuff.
If I can get to both of your points, if I'm the 10% of the room that needs to control 90% of the room, if I can get everybody in those other 90% of the room to feel empowered by the CP thing is just for black people. The late thing is only for the Miami people. The such and such is only the whites do rebellious things. Right? If I can get each group of those people to almost like make it a badge of honor, I win. But and y'all aren't communicating with each other, because then you go, yeah, we do that all of the time. It's like every culture that you go to has a dish for like chicken and rice.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone.
And then they'll be like, this is my grandmother's bro. You know what I'm saying? That's where again I just go, this has to be a test.
Yeah, that's my my food story I tell people because I've traveled all over. I went to Thailand, asked my buddy to get me some real Thai food, and he's like, "Oh, you want real Thai food, huh? It's steamed chicken and rice."
Yep. I was just in Africa. I think August. I was there for a mission trip. I was going to teach some kids there, and food. Asked me what we had.
What did you get?
Chicken and rice. It might be seasoned a bit different. Right. It might be called something different, but in the end, the main dish was chicken and rice.
Yeah.
Do y'all know that what we're talking about and hinting towards is the thing that gets you fully canceled? What you're talking about and discussing is pulling back the veil, recognizing the unity in all things. It could be this thing that everybody in every culture goes, bro, I'm on time. What are you talking about? I'm Indian. I'm not a white supremacist, right? And if you go, yeah, bro, chicken and rice, Thailand, chicken and rice, Africa, they're gonna jaw off you to death, and like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
my point in saying that is what we're talking about beneath the surface is the thing that goes, last week was I can't remember how many years anniversary of Fred Hampton Sr. being murdered, killed by the Chicago Police Department and the FBI, right? Fred Hampton, even though it was Black Panthers, was like, all people got to work together.
I said it before. As soon as he got everybody on one accord, regardless of race, he was talking to everybody.
Yep.
The white, the Mexican, whatever. Once he got everybody on one accord, they like, oh, nah, okay, now you tripping.
Right.
Same thing with Dr. King.
Yep.
They used Dr. King for as long as they could until he started saying, okay, hold up. Everybody's having a certain issue with the government. Bye-bye, Dr. King.
We about to
Bye-bye, Dr. King. Every time Malcolm X, he was fine when he was just about the black people. Soon as he started trying to get everybody together, bye-bye, Malcolm X. You can't do the full unity thing. They have to keep everybody in their separate groups.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon, so subscribe and come hang out.